Okay, welcome everybody to today's Inside Real Estate Strategy webinar. We're doing these Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays, 12 p.m. East. Replays are always at insiderealestate.com/webinars. You can also see them in the Facebook group, insiderealestate.com/Facebook group. We tend to start these out with a specific topic, a little bit of news, things going on, and then I hand it over. You guys can ask any questions you might have. So if you have any questions at all or comments, don't be afraid to use the chat widget here. I'm just going to bring that up so I can see your chats, and then we'll get going. So let's start out. I just want to let you know that I mentioned a week ago that we're going to have this 1-hour coaching session option that we've mentioned in the group a few times, but that is now available in the KV Core Marketplace to everybody. So if you go to Marketplace Coaching, you'll see this one-on-one session here, and soon we'll be layering on some other coaching and training type services, setup services, things of that nature. We're going to kind of be dripping these out. So this first one is just a session where you can get on with a KV Core expert. It's not meant to be a support session where you come on and ask for things that the product doesn't do. I know a lot of people want to get us on and do that and make feature requests. No, this is more about strategizing what you should do next given your where you're at with KV Core and our other products. So the expert that you get on with will say, oh, what's going on here? It's just as much of a how to do stuff thing. You can get your questions answers about how to do specific things as it is a session where you're going to get guidance where somebody will say, hey, you should be doing these 3 things next in order to get the most out of the system. So that's available in the Marketplace. You can find that one-on-one coaching session. It's 1 hour. You can see the pricing and everything here. There's a quick video from me about that. That's that. Today for the topic, I like to come on here and have something to talk to you guys about. And in case you don't ask any questions or have any office hours type stuff you want to talk about. And I'd like to talk a little bit about seller lead follow-up. Let's say 2 or 3 weeks ago, we did a session and I did a video about this seller leads funnel using Facebook lead ads. So if you go to the replays link, it's probably about 10 down here. This is, a couple weeks ago right here. It says how to generate seller leads with Facebook ads. So we've got that, and then I did a follow-up session where we talked a little bit about that. So these 2 webinars here, and the ad that I generated in this video initially didn't work too well until I realized that I had it targeting the whole country for about a couple of hours. And I turned it off. It was about 20 days ago. And then I turned it back on about a week ago, and it worked much better. You can see here it's generated 9 leads for $10 a piece. And for the type of lead that this is, I'll show you the ad. This is a full, get a full 20+ page report. So if somebody's saying, yeah, give me a 20+ page report, it tells me the value of, tells you what your Pinellas County home sell for in today's real estate market. I guess I was being funny live and I changed that to you are. I think somebody suggested that. It seems weird to me now looking back at it, but whatever, it's converting, so we'll leave it. And then when somebody clicks on this, it's actually collecting name, street address, city, state, zip, first name, email, and cell number of the lead. So that's a pretty good quote unquote seller lead. They're actually saying, yeah, give me that free 20+ page report. So what I started doing this weekend is building out the process for what to do as these leads come in. The first thing of which is that I need to build the report. So I spent yesterday morning, this is something that I'm gonna kind of hand off to somebody else as soon as I can because I don't feel like sitting in RPR all day creating these reports, even though it's still a high dollar per hour activity, I believe. But the first thing I did was I went and I sent the reports. So I'll go in here at KV Core and I wanted to share with you kind of what I did when I sent the reports. So we'll just go to the last one here. What email I've sent, and I did get a response this morning, so I got a good response. But it just says, hi, click here to see the detailed report you requested for 252. Were you thinking about selling the property sometime soon or just curious about the value? So I tried a few different messages. I want to see what resonates, so I'm not sticking with the same one every time. I'm just kind of rotating a few. So what's the one I got a reply from? I got a reply from Karen here. So she gave me a nice response back this morning. And what did I send her? I sent her, you can click here to see the requested report. This is mostly a computer-generated report. So if you'd like a real human in-person opinion of your property, feel free to reply and let us know. So she replied back to that. And you see how it felt really personal? And then her response back was, "Thank you, Ryan. I really appreciate this." So this is a good way to start a relationship, I think. She requested a report on a Facebook ad. I took the time to create an RPR report that gave the value. Maybe I should show you guys what that looks like. So it took me about 5 minutes. I had to log into RPR. I don't know if you guys have all done that. I assume you have. If you use Cloud CMA, if you use Dash CMA, which is we have here in our product line, I'll probably be switching that soon once my MLS is hooked up with them. I just asked about that this morning. But you see, I built a nice little report here. It took me, I unchecked a few of the things I didn't want to show in there, show some comps, show the estimated value. I don't even know if it made it to 20 pages, but that's okay. And I emailed the link to it straight out. So that's the first thing I did. Now, guys, I'm going to pause here for a minute. Can somebody just chat and say, "Yeah, Ryan, I can hear you," because this is really weird. None of you guys have said anything in the chat, so I worry that I'm sitting here talking to myself. And I figured I'd get a question. Thank you, Christian. Thank you, Richard. Thanks, guys. All right, so that's the that's the report flow, right? So it's that ad. They do it. I'm manually creating the report. I'm going to hand this off to, I was asking my wife if she wanted to do it. Maybe my brother will want to do it. He's licensed at the same office. Not sure. But I'd like to make this more systematic where I know that within a few hours, somebody's waiting for this to come in and they get it sent out. Send the email, right? So I have kind of an email script that I'm working around. And then the other things that I'm doing is if I go back here, you can see here, she received a property alert email. So good question, Luann. She received a property alert email. So one of the things I'm doing is I am going in for each of these, a little bit of work again, and I'm setting up a property alert in their zip code. So this one, I based on the report, I was able to say, okay, yeah, I know she's in the zip code, and I'll just give her this price range, and she'll get properties that look like hers. And what this is going to do, of course, is going to put my name in front of this person over and over again, a couple times a week. I did it twice a week, and just attach my name with real estate. Now she's replying back to me. She's got a nice report, and I'm building the relationship with multiple touches. Now, at $10 a lead, I don't expect it to always be at $10 a lead, but I'm fairly confident that I could hit a 1% listing rate. Out of 100 people that I do all this for, I should eventually get a listing from. I'm pretty confident. I'm expecting it'll probably be more in the 5–10% range, as time goes on. But I'm going at this with the attitude that I expect people to not reply to that initial email when I send them the report. I do not expect a response. When I get one, it'll be nice, but I'm proceeding and doing a bunch of other stuff to kind of hedge my bets or cover the relationship, like enhance the relationship. So Luann asked, is RPR on KV Core? No, it's not. A lot of MLSs provide RPR access. So mine happens to be one of those. It's a Realtor's Property Resource. I think it's in a lot of MLSs. Cloud CMA is out there as one of the ones. You have Dash CMA, which is a product that just came on board here with Inside Real Estate that we're going to be building something really awesome around called Core Present that you're going to see soon. You probably will be able to use that for this in the next few months, this process. And you can also, of course, don't get hung up on this. You could also go directly into your MLS. And I'm sure your MLS provides some kind of CMA reporting functionality. So, no need to get hung up on this. I like the RPR because I can just put the address in and it spits something out for me. I find that to be pretty convenient, but you do whatever you want to do. And I think another pointer would be not to obsess over the accuracy of that report. This isn't a straight up come list my house, give me a full opinion of value. This is the thing that you give that's a little better than a computer estimate, a little more detailed. And then your follow-up is basically saying, hey, would you like me to come to your house and give you an even better opinion of value? And you can cover that in the script. You see I said here, this is mostly a computer-generated report. So if you'd like a real in-person human opinion of the property's current value, feel free to reply and let us know. And what's interesting is she did reply and say, yes, I'm thinking of doing an addition. Do you think that makes sense? Truth is, I have no idea, so I'm going to get my broker. I haven't been too active here. I'm going to get her to jump in and maybe give the real expert opinion. I'm not considering myself that yet in this market, but but anyway, that's the funnel, right? I showed it to you. The ad, person comes in, I'm setting up the report, sending the email, setting up alerts, and then you'll see here I'm also I'm doing sent valuation. So I'm making sure that I hashtag these to know that I'm done doing them. The other thing that I did, I did this in Delia's account, in the broker's account, but not mine. So the other thing I can do is I can set a filter. for that hashtag, so I'll just show you guys this. So I might do valuation. So home valuation, save filters, home valuation requests. And then I can add that to my top up here. Oops. Once I save it, I can click this little gear and I can save it up top. Okay. So now I have my home valuation requests right here. And then I can also have the ones that I sent to as well. I can have a quick one. So I quickly go in here and work this funnel. So my theory is this entire thing that I've just shown you, I think I could build an entire practice around this and just toggle the ads up and down. You know, the traffic source is Facebook. I got 9 leads in about 3 days at $10 a lead. This is a recipe for, you know, with consistency on the follow-up, creating the seller report, doing the alerts, and doing some of the other things that I'm going to show you now. I think this is a recipe to build a nice little real estate practice right here. I'm giving you guys the gold. So right there. So the other things that I had on my list that I want to show you. So create the report, tag that it's done, create a search alert. We can create auto market reports currently, and I think this might get better as we bring Dash CMA and Core Present on board. But I could also go in here and set up the market report. So I can go add market report. So she can get a local report for her area, and then I am so bad. Isn't there a property report that I always forget how to do? Valuation. I could put that in here. So, bummer. See. Okay, and then this is here, and I think it'll send the seller report. Guys, don't make fun of me. There's a way to trigger an auto report that I'm just escaping me. Oh, I see. When I entered it, it automatically added her zip code. I actually had the wrong one in there. And then I can send that report every 28 days right here. And I'm not going to send now. I can't. Anyway, there's the market reports feature. Sorry. Okay, and then two other steps that where you might take this even further would be to drop off the report at the doorstep. So I don't think this is a bad idea. And I used to do this in Philly for expired listings. I would send business cards in and follow up with a little bit of work, but like a 1 or 2 pager on the value before we had all the tech we had now in the early to mid 2000s. But you could mail or drop off this report at the doorstep. If you wanted to have an assistant do this and you're getting 3 or 4 of these a day, could be something you do. And it definitely, I can see make an impression there. Or even if you wanted to FedEx it or something, send in the mail. And then the last thing that I wanted to show you was setting up automatic direct mail to follow up here. So that would be, I'm going to use Thanks.io, which full disclosure, I'm a partner in, co-founder of, to send some postcards to these leads. So to really kind of round out the funnel, they're getting all this digital touch from me, and now I'm going to put something physical out in the mail. So I'm going to kind of show you what that looks like, if that's all right. If you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask. Sometimes I just start talking and talking. I know I can go a little fast, but if you have any questions at all, or you want to talk about something other than this topic, it's totally fine. You can ask here, and that's fine. So I'm going to log into my Thanks.io account. And the idea is that after somebody comes on in through my Facebook ad, I'm getting the name, email, address, right? Is that I'm going to send them a postcard in the mail to thank them. Or it could be a letter. So go to Snaps. Jumping around a little. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build this thank you postcard right here. So I don't mean this to be a demo of Thanks.io, but I think this is an important concept and an idea if you're doing multi-channel marketing to think about, and that is getting something physical in the mail to these leads or for cold prospect. So I'm going to go, and the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to build an image template for the front. Performing slowly. Is this just me, guys? Can you hear me okay still? Seems like my computer's going slow, so I apologize if you're having audio issues. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to design a postcard. Now, thanks integrates with Canva. It makes life pretty easy. And I'm just going to do a simple I'm not even going to use one of the templates. I'm just going to use one of my uploads. I'm going to get the logo here. Oh, sorry, guys. I thought I had a Forever Florida logo on here. Okay. Here we go. Well, so let's struggle through here. All right. Okay, there it is. This is going to be way uglier than it should be if I try to rush it. Just guys, just let me know if you get bored, but I'm going to attempt to actually make this look nice live. Doesn't always work out, but let's just do this. Okay. Black. Photos. There's my logo. Yeah, this isn't going to come out great because I'm doing it live. I would probably do something that look a little sharper than this, but I'm not going to obsess. Just to give you guys the idea, and I'll just do a subheading. Thank you for requesting your property value report. Okay, super basic. I could definitely spend more time. I could put my picture on the front. You guys get the idea, right? So that part would probably be the most time spent here. But very simple. So I'll go ahead and click Save Postcard. That's not the important thing here. You can see here where I did one that was meant for cold lead generation. I'll just share this with you since you're here, where you could mail this out to an area, to a farm, and then it texts to get a home value report as a draft. So now I've got the image, and now I'm going to do a message template. So this will be thanks for requesting home value. Hi, and then I can merge in the first name. Thanks for requesting your detailed value report for, I'm going to leave value out because it gets into the appraisal territory. It's just to try to leave that out, right? Detailed report for, and then I can actually merge in the street address. Feel free to call or email me anytime. Ryan. Right, and so on. So I would put my number on there. I could put my smart number. Feel free to text me. With any real estate you might have. So this is really simple. It's not doing a lot. And I could even put a URL in there because there's room. So if I wanted to, this is a landing page that I've talked about before, I could put like that in there so when they get it, they can go and be curious and go to the website if they want. I could choose different fonts and do all the stuff that Thanks does right there. So I'm going to leave this font. So now I've got the image ready. I'll probably make that prettier later, you know, a lot more sharp. And if you're watching this on replay, I'll link to it below. But I have my template ready. And now the next thing I need to do is I'm going to create a mailing list in Thanks where all of these people are going to land. Just a quick step. So I'll manually enter seller value leads. And what Thanks can do is it kind of works like an email drip system. I can say that anytime somebody lands on this list that I want to trigger a card and a message, and I can send multiple if I want. So I'm going to go to campaigns, and I'm going to say add a new campaign, and I'm going to say seller value leads, and it's going to be thanks for requesting home value, and then I have to rename that so I know what it is in the future. But I can pick my postcard size. I'll stick with the 4x6, and then I'm just going to do days after added 1, like that. So it'll send it. It'll go out in the mail the next day. Start campaign. So how it works is that anytime somebody lands on that mailing list, that card that I just built with the message and the image are going to get triggered out in the mail automatically. If I wanted to then follow up in another month and send something else for me, or if I wanted to every year send a Christmas card on a specific holiday and do that kind of stuff as a way to farm these leads, I could do that. And that's what I'll probably do. I'll probably go and have maybe 3 touches a year, 4 touches a year, so they get something from me on a recurring basis of some nature. So I've got it set up in Thanks. You could use Thanks. You could use any number of different direct mail services to do this, guys. I'm just using Thanks because I'm very close to it and I'm able to work quickly in it. But the main takeaway here is the idea that you're following up across multiple channels. The last thing I need to do is I'm going to build a Zap. I'm going to use Zapier.com. And I'm going to make a Zap that takes these leads. I'm going to do a Zap that takes these leads and sends it out and sends it into that mailing list so that the automation is triggered. So, so Ali's asking, so will this do one-off postcards? Yes, Ali, that's how it works. It'll just do one at a time, and there's no minimum quantity. Yeah, there's a wholesale plan that allows you to send, buy down the price if you're sending a whole bunch. You can see that on the homepage. Jorge's asking, do you have a link or video to create the Facebook ad you showed in the beginning? Yeah, that's in the strategy sessions at insiderealestate.com/webinars, and that's in the link here in the playlist for all the replays. Of course, just to make your life easy live here, Jorge, I will drop it to everybody so you can have it right there. But for anybody watching the replay, it'll be in the list. It's how to generate seller leads right there. Okay, great. So I'll just show the building of this Zap. I like to show building Zaps whenever possible. Now, I could do this. There's 2 ways I could trigger this. I could trigger this when the lead hits KV Core as part of a smart campaign, or I can trigger it straight from the Facebook lead ad. So I'm actually going to do it straight from the Facebook lead ad. I did a video for a KV Core user about a week ago. I'll include that with the replay, showing you how to do it from KV Core. Honestly, it's a bunch of extra steps to do it from KV Core. You have to build a smart campaign and trigger the Zap from smart campaign, and it's a little hairy. So I did a video that showed that step by step. The way that I usually do it is I kind of just do it from the Facebook lead ad. So that's what I'm going to show here, just so we're not here all day. But the idea is to take it either from the Facebook lead ad or whatever source you're getting. You might be using another program to get your listing leads, and then take that source and put it into thanks.io. So that's my last step. Oh boy. For those of you guys, I don't know if you've ever run into this. This is a little, you probably have to be building a lot of Zaps. But for some reason, it doesn't, Zapier updated, it doesn't always find your Facebook page. So you have to go get the custom ID of the Facebook page. It is the most frustrating thing, honestly. But I'm going to go to another Zap here and grab that. If this happens to you, you need to grab the page ID. And it takes about, I had to Google around on how to find the page ID. It was a mess, but it's basically buried somewhere in your business page. If that happens to you, that's the solution. So if it doesn't find your Facebook page, continue. Technical difficulties. Now I'm getting a bug. Don't let me do that. There we go. All right, I'm just going to do it from KV Core. I guess it wanted me to do that. Okay, so now I'm adding it, doing thanks, and I'm going to add it to a recipient to a mailing list here. And that's the list I created. So I don't want to bore you guys with the gory details. We've done a few webinars in that same list about Zapier lately. You kind of just have to go step by step and figure this out. But basically, I'm going to go through and I'm going to then map over the data from about the seller from the source, and that will add it to the mailing list so the card goes out automatically. So I didn't want to spend the whole session going through that flow, but I thought it might be helpful to some people to kind of see how that looks. It's a little bit of a technical setup, but I think it's worth doing. And then the last thing I would need to do to run that from KV Core, as I said, I'll attach the video, is I would need to create a smart campaign that actually sends out that to that Zap ID. So I do a campaign. Anytime somebody hits home valuation, I don't know that it matters if it's buyer or seller, but we'll do home valuation, follow up. Might as well do this now, home valuation, follow up. And what I can actually do is I can actually add some events that would happen here as well. So show you what I mean in a second. So home valuation, follow up. So the first action is going to be that Zap. I want the card to go out. So I clicked Zapier, send to thanks.io mailing list. And this is the ID that I need right here to send on over. Where it asked me. Luann, what do you mean the campaigns that you set up, why aren't they automatics? You're asking. They kind of need to be set up. They need to be turned on and turned off, and there's all kinds of rules. So you just need to make sure that it's configured to run around certain conditions, if that's what you mean. So if you have one that's not working, that's probably it. It's probably right there. You kind of saw me set this up. There's a bunch of different knobs and buttons that you have to push around, and whether, you know, when it triggers. Do you want it to always run for every lead? Things like that. So we can definitely look at it. Our support team, if you have a specific one that's not working, just say, hey, this isn't firing here, and they can let you know. So I've got the card sending out. Now, the other thing I can do that I just mentioned was I could say, I could add a task, right? I can say, send home valuation report. I got to make a template for the task. Oh boy. None of the guys who build this product understand the pain, but I do. I'm with you guys. Send home valuation report, because I should be able to just go add a task without having to do all this. Send home valuation report. And at this point, in most cases, I'm just throwing my hands up and not actually doing this. So now I can add the task to the campaign. I got to go back into it. Now I can add the task. Send home valuation report. Template. Send home valuation report. All right. That'll immediately add. So what this will do is it'll create a task for me so I remember to do it, and it'll show up when I log in. Right there. Oh, Kevin, I understand it all too well. And I try. In my opinion, this is the one area that we should have all hands on deck on immediately, but I've been saying that for about 2 years. I mean, this is very, very hard. to do. I totally agree. And anybody who's played in other systems knows how hard this is. But that said, I don't want to bash it totally. It does a lot of stuff. The issue is with the flow and the logic with which you have to do things. There's a lot of extra steps. But once you understand the steps, it's not a big deal. It's an extra minute or two here and there. It's just it compounds if you're doing a lot of this, and it does take up a lot of extra time. And it's not always intuitive. So yes, I feel your pain. But that is the essence of it here. I can now send that out to thanks.io via Zapier. I can set up a task for myself. If I want to send a follow-up email, I might create an email that says, hi, I sent the report, maybe like 5 days later. Hi, just doing a quick follow-up after the report the other day. And what I might actually do is say, this is an automated message. If we're already talking, delete this email. My dumb system sent it. I like to do those kind of things. But you could set up a little more automation on the email front here. I do think, though, that the most powerful follow-up for these leads is going to be a combination of actually emailing the report, sending an email, and setting up those property alerts and those property reports. Because the property alerts that show what other houses are selling for in their area are going to get them constantly thinking about the value of their house and seeing your name in lights, so to speak. So that's that. Woo, I feel like I just talked a lot, but I hope you guys found that useful. Let me know what you think. That is a seller funnel. I went a little bit off into an extra world there that you don't necessarily have to do with sending something physical in the mail, but I think that can work. The other thing that I could do that I have going is the retargeting ads that I have running for anybody who visits my site. So they're going to see me in Facebook saying, hey, thank you for visiting my site. So they'll see my face there. And, you get to a point where with one of these funnels, we're about a week of working on it. Like I am right now. I ran the ad's working, great. Now I'm going to go back, I'm going to start layering on different follow-up elements. I'm going to add in postcards. I'm going to figure out who's going to, on my team, who can I tap to do these home valuations. And it's going to become a system that can then be fed and turned on and off by just toggling the ad on and off from day to day. And out the other side, the goal is to have some kind of business result. In this case, listing appointments. Actually, the first business result, I should make this clear. The first goal is to just generate conversations with homeowners. First goal, generate conversations with homeowners. And as you saw, I have one person reply out of the first 5 reports I sent. Those conversations will eventually lead to listing appointments and then listings. So Kevin's asking, can you pay to have this done? I think your best bet there would be to use the coaching option that we have in the marketplace now. The main coach right now who's doing that is really savvy with all this stuff. He's probably at the same level I'm at. And he would be able to look at what you're doing and give you the right advice and just give you a bullet pointed list. Do these 3 things next. If you have a Facebook ad that isn't, you say your Facebook ads are working, but your follow-up isn't great. He's a guy who's done 50 more transactions a year. He knows what he's doing. He could probably help you build out those processes. So just schedule that coaching appointment, Kevin. That would be the best bet. And he's cool. He'll be able to help you. So that's it, guys. He's not boring. No, he's cool. He's worked with us a while. He's actually an agent. And I just know, we're slowly bringing that service on. And I know that right now in the beginning, he's got a little bandwidth. And this is exactly the type of thing that he's there to help you do. And I know he can do a great job of it, especially around Facebook ads and the follow-up. So cool. Anything else, guys, that you would like to have to talk about today? I probably got about another 15 minutes or so. But that was sort of a quick rundown of what a seller lead funnel might look like with a bunch of different follow-up stuff. I'm sure there's more we could do to make it run. But I think all these things at $10 a lead, and it's not going to be $10 a lead. Let's be honest. If I got to pay somebody to do the reports and all this stuff, it's going to work out. Say it even works out to $100 a lead, and you nail that 5 or 10%. It's still worth it in a lot of markets to have a funnel that's kicking out listing leads. And the other thing I really like about this is that in all the emails that I'm doing, I'm also you're interacting with homeowners who may need to buy another house, who know other people in the market. So it's just kind of good business activity to me. Cool. Well, if the question is, do you add voicemail drops to the seller campaign? Robert, thank you. I didn't even think of that. I should have thought of that. So I'm going to add that in. I'll confess, I don't have the voicemail. Send automated voicemail. Absolutely. I don't have that activated in my account. So I need to go pay the bill and add that on, but it's in Marketplace. But yes, since I am getting the cell number, I should be sending a text and I should be sending the voicemail. Those are two things that the system does out of the box. And for some reason, I just brain fart, I guess. I just didn't think to do that. But yes, thank you. So that's core voicemail drop right here. I could go sign up for the $20 plan and send each of these people an automated voicemail. And now I would delay it. You know, I probably wouldn't send it right away. Like, hey, thanks for the report. It would probably be what I'd record would go something like this. It would go out like 13 minutes later. Like, hey, I just saw that you requested a home value report. This is Ryan with Forever Florida. Just want to let you know that we'll get working on that. Just give us a little time to get that done, but you'll probably see it in the next business day or so. We'll get it out. If you have any questions in the meantime, just shoot me a text. So that's what it would be. It would sound casual, as if I did actually send the voicemail, and that's what core voicemail drop is great for. Thanks, Kevin. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for the feedback, guys. Robert, thanks. Yeah, I definitely need to go get core voicemail drop. Maybe tomorrow, I got to add that to my account, but maybe tomorrow I'll show the process of how that looks and adding that to the funnel. I think that's a good topic. And we'll be back tomorrow at the same time, 12 East. And I'll probably start off showing that. And then if there's anything else you guys want to talk about tomorrow, just mention it in the group or just come tomorrow with your questions up front, drop them in, and we'll dig in. All right, thanks, guys. Have a great one. We'll get the replay live later this afternoon. Bye-bye.